June 19, 1997. In a cramped conference room in Dallas, the CEO of Blockbuster, John Antioco, stared at a glossy brochure for a fledgling company called Netflix and laughed. $50 million for a mail-order DVD service. We'll pass, he declared, unaware he was turning away the future of home entertainment. The story of Blockbuster begins in 1985, when a small chain of video rental stores opened its doors in Dallas, Texas. Founded by David Cook, the company quickly discovered a formula that would dominate the industry for 2 decades. A massive inventory of titles, standardized late fee policies, and a bright blue and yellow storefront that promised no late fees to the unsuspecting suburban family. By the early 1990s, Blockbuster, soon to be known simply as Blockbuster, had over 2,000 stores across the United States, each a temple of VHS tapes and the ritual of rental night. What set Blockbuster apart from the countless mom-and-pop video shops was its relentless focus on scale. Leveraging massive purchasing power, the chain could negotiate lower wholesale prices with studios, passing savings on to customers while keeping a lucrative late fee revenue stream. The brand became synonymous with Friday night movie nights, and the iconic orange Blockbuster sign glowed like a beacon for teenage friends scouring the aisles for the latest action flick or family comedy. By 1996, Blockbuster's market share eclipsed 30% of the U.S. video rental market, and the company went public, its stock soaring as investors cheered what seemed an unstoppable empire. Yet beneath the glossy ads and booming revenue, subtle warning signs began to flicker. The first tremor arrived with the rise of the DVD in 1997, a format that offered superior picture quality and, crucially, a compact disc that could be mailed. While Blockbuster initially dismissed DVDs as a passing fad, the company eventually poured $500 million into converting its stores, installing thousands of new disc reading machines, and stocking shelves with the shiny new discs. The shift was costly, and the profit margins on DVDs were slimmer than the beloved VHS tapes. Meanwhile, a quiet revolution was gathering steam in the Silicon Valley garage. In 1998, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph launched Netflix, a subscription service that mailed DVDs directly to customers, eliminating late fees and the need to trek to a brick-and-mortar location. When Netflix approached Blockbuster in 2000 with an offer to sell the company for $50 million, the Blockbuster board, confident in its dominance, turned the deal down. The decision would later become a textbook case of corporate myopia. The early 2000s saw the first cracks widen. The Internet, still in its adolescence, began to enable new forms of content delivery. Peer-to-peer services like Kazaa and Napster introduced the concept of digital sharing, and although illegal, they demonstrated a consumer appetite for instant, on-demand access. Blockbuster responded with half-hearted attempts. A Blockbuster online portal launched in 2004, offering DVD rentals by mail and a partnership with Enron's Venron Online to test a streaming model. Yet these initiatives lacked the focus and capital that Netflix poured into its own streaming platform, which debuted in 2007. Internally, the warning signs grew louder. Late fee revenue, once the lifeblood of the business, began to dwindle as consumers balked at punitive charges. In 2005, the company introduced a no late fees policy, hoping to retain customers, but the move slashed a vital profit center. Simultaneously, the cost of maintaining over 9,000 physical stores, rent, utilities, inventory, and staff, eaten into cash flow. Analysts warned that the store-heavy model was unsustainable in an era where digital distribution was gaining momentum, but Blockbuster's leadership clung to the belief that the tactile experience of browsing aisles could not be replicated online. The decisive blow arrived in 2007, when Netflix announced a streaming service, allowing members to watch movies instantly over the Internet. Blockbuster, still entrenched in its physical rental mindset, launched Blockbuster on Demand the same year, but the service lagged behind in content library, user experience, and device compatibility. Within months, Netflix's subscriber base surged past 1 million, while Blockbuster's revenue began to plateau. In 2010, the inevitable happened. After years of mounting debt, dwindling cash, and an inability to pivot decisively, Blockbuster filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The filing listed assets of $2.2 billion against liabilities of $3.4 billion, a stark reversal from the $5 billion market cap the company boasted just a decade earlier. By the end of the year, the once ubiquitous blue and yellow storefronts were shuttered, their neon signs dimming for the final time. The final blow came in 2013, when Dish Network, which had acquired Blockbuster's remaining assets, closed the last corporate-owned store in Bend, Oregon, leaving only a handful of independently owned franchises to cling to the legacy brand. The aftermath of Blockbuster's collapse reshaped the entertainment landscape. Netflix, having survived the 2008 financial crisis, expanded globally, investing billions in original content and becoming a cultural juggernaut. The subscription-based streaming model displaced not only brick-and-mortar rentals, but also traditional cable television. Competitors like Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, and Disney Plus entered the arena, turning content consumption into an on-demand, algorithm-driven experience. Meanwhile, the physical video rental industry became a footnote, surviving only in nostalgic retro stores that cater to collectors and cinephiles. Beyond the business implications, Blockbuster's story serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of complacency. It illustrates how a company, once synonymous with cultural rituals, can be outmaneuvered by a lean startup that embraces technology, listens to evolving consumer behavior, and isn't afraid to disrupt its own market. Subscribe to The Collapse for more stories like this.